Hello everyone, John Terrick with you again, starting our tastings for season 2. I'm excited about that. You know, as I mentioned in the intro, have to go a little healthier as per the doctors. So here we are. I have apples. I have apples because an apple a day keeps the doctor away. So this should keep me in good shape for a little while. You know, thinking through this tasting, I was thinking back to my childhood, and I remember going into the grocery store. When I was a kid, again, I was born in 1970, so follow me on this. Maybe you have the similar experience. I think I remember like 4 apples when I was a kid. 4 apples. You go into the grocery store, you had a choice of Red Delicious, Macintosh. You had this yellow thing, which was kind of a mutation or something like that. I wouldn't even touch those. And then the green ones. The Granny Smith, I guess you call them properly today, but I just knew them as green ones. And you didn't eat the green ones because they were only for pies, because it was so sour. You would never want to bite into a green apple. So I really had just 2 choices, the Red Delicious or the Macintosh. And I hated the Macintosh. Grew up in New York, and that's what seemingly was the most popular, because the Red Delicious maybe came from Washington or something like that. I don't remember all the particulars back then. I just knew that I hated Macintosh apples. I think from a texture standpoint, if you remember, it was kind of like a more mealy type of apple, the Macintosh, and I hated that. So Red Delicious was my apple. Nowadays, thanks to science and all kinds of crossbreeding and whatnot, we have several different choices. So I go into my Publix yesterday, and I pick out 4, really the 4 that, eliminating the green, the Granny Smith, and the yellow ones, they pretty much had these 4 available. And surprisingly, and happily, they didn't have any Macintosh. So I eliminated that from the discussion, right? So Macintosh are gone. I told you, I wouldn't touch those yellow ones, and the green ones are just for baking. So what do we have? We have, sidebar, I remembered also as a kid in the grocery stores, going in the produce aisle. Maybe, again, this is your experience. Check this out. I went into, we had a ShopRite and a King Cullen. That's a Long Island store, I guess. So we had that locally, and I remember going with my parents to the grocery store, and that first part of the store you walk into was a produce aisle, but before you even got to the produce aisle were these like batches, like buckets of candy that were just laying there. And you could just dig your hands in there, put your face in there if you want, smell the candy, just pick it up, do whatever you want with it. I mean, this is well before the ages of pandemics and before we really cared about that sort of stuff. But maybe there's something to that. I don't know if you remember that as a kid. I'm going to put a picture of it right here. You can see this. I think the company was called Brach's, B-R-A-C-H''S, right? And they had all kinds of different candies. There was one particular one, and here's a picture of that you just wanted to stay away from. It was like white with all this, like a fruitcake candy almost, right? Stay away from that one. But I remember people having that in their houses when you go and visit. These candies you could just like openly just take or whatever, but as a parent, could you imagine taking your kid into a place like that, where you could just have free access to candy before you even got to any place in the store? The kid's gonna see that first. It's like taking your kids to Toys R Us, which doesn't exist anymore either. Yeah, those were the days. Anyway, enough reminiscing. So what do we got? The 4 apples we're gonna taste today. This is what we call the Envy. At least the sticker said Envy. However, when I picked it up at the store at Publix, it said Fuji on the side. Maybe they're the same thing. I didn't Google it. Maybe you could tell me in the comments. Envy/Fuji. We've got the Gala apple. I think this is pretty popular. You can find that pretty much in most stores. Gala or Gala, depending upon how you want to pronounce it and if you want to do it correctly. We have the Honeycrisp apple. And this is something I think we have seen even at the big box stores. Like I go to Sam's Club or something like that. These things are everywhere. Honeycrisp. I get a lot of those. And the classic Red Delicious apple. Red Delicious, probably from Washington State somewhere. Anyway, these are really good ones. I hand selected it myself. It was great. It was in there in the store. And what are we going to do to pair with this? We have a bourbon today, but not just kind of any bourbon. This thing is called, it's from a distillery called Clyde Mays. Clyde Mays. Now, he's an Alabama guy. You read his history online, it's fantastic. He was like in jail for, operating a still illegally. It says from 1946 and legal since 2001. I opened this the other day, And I have to say, this thing is fantastic. So, Clyde Mays, it's a bourbon. It's Kentucky, a straight bourbon whiskey, it says. Not Kentucky, obviously, because it's from Alabama. And it has, like, I will say, I got some taste of a little bit of caramel in there, which is great for the apples, right? And some vanilla. And when I tasted it, it was really kind of sweet. So it's going to go well. I think it's going to pair well with these apples. And we're going to taste these things blindfolded, of course. I recommend this highly. I mean, this might be one of my favorites. We've got plenty to try back there too, but that is a good one. Clyde Mays, relatively cheap too. I don't want to say that's more than 30 bucks, but that is a fine whiskey. Here we go, blindfolded. Again, I don't eat my apples either. It's like some sort of animal where you just bite into it. No, I prefer to use a knife and cut my apples. You know, everybody in the South, I'm in Florida, obviously. Everybody in the South, as a man, you want to carry a pocket knife. I have one of these. This is from Crudo Knives. I really like their products. I have several different Crudo knives, but I'm going to do this. I'm going to be cutting my apple while blindfolded and doing this taste test. So I'm just saying, don't try this at home. It's very dangerous. But I'm a trained professional, so no worries over here. Apples on the menu today because they're healthy. Dogs are barking in the background. I have a grandfather clock in the studio here. You probably hear that chirping as well. Let's mix these up a little bit so completely not knowing which one's which. Hopefully an Amazon delivery will come while I'm doing this as well. Just to show you, you know, we are real here. This is not artificial in any way. Okay, here's my knife. I know the pointy end, the sharp end is on this side. We're gonna taste this. Here we go. This is a nice apple, I can tell already. I'm gonna put this back where we found it. Okay. Very familiar. Sweet, even more sweet with no tartness whatsoever. Sweet, no sourness whatsoever on that one. Good apple. I can sense what it is already. That's fine. Shoot a little caramel after that. Oh my gosh. That is good. I'm telling you. Bring an apple to work. But maybe not bring the Clyde Mays, but that's, that is good. All right, so that was very sweet. This next one, let's see here. Don't hurt yourself, right? You gotta be careful. Okay, what do we got here? Sweet also. Skin has a more waxy feel. So, very good. Again, no tartness on that one whatsoever. So this one, I think I'll put that over here for now. Make sure I'm not messing up the apples. Can't see anything. Been a while since I've been blindfolded. Okay. Get my palate cleanser going. Oh gosh. This is a great combination. Okay, doggies, stop barking over there. Apple number 3, coming up here. You know, you just gotta be careful. I'm trained, very trained with a blade. Okay. Now this has a bit of sourness to it, but I have to say I like it. Not quite the Jolly Rancher type flavor of sour apple one, but boy, it is good. Now this might be right now. I'm gonna put this in its proper order over here. Last one coming up. Now let's see what the whiskey does to the sourness. Gosh, that is so good. I don't know why I didn't think of this before. I bet you if you combine this somehow in some sort of baking dish, some bourbon and some apples, that would be phenomenal. Okay, last one, here we go. All right, got a nice chunk there. I like the texture of the skin on the last one too, by the way, was good. That second one had more skin issues. Okay. And this is a sweet one as well. I would probably put this, I think, if I could put this correctly. I'm gonna go over here. Like third. And I think we got our order. One, 2, 3, 4. All right, what do the judges say? First, let me cleanse the palate again. Oh, that is good. That is good. All right, let's see what the results are. Ladies and gentlemen, the winning apple is a Gala apple. Gala. All right, that's kind of surprising. I didn't think, I thought I would really go, my go-to has been this Honeycrisp. I put that in third of all things. And my go-to as a kid, the Red Delicious comes in last. All right, hooray for science. So the NB Fuji comes in second, but Gala was the first. I just want to double check that, make sure I got this right, because that, yeah. That is good stuff. By the way, I don't know if my audio is picking up the crunching sounds and stuff like that. You know, I got that misophonia. I hate the sound of food crunching and all that stuff, so hope that's not bothering anybody else. All right, I think that's the way I'm gonna leave it. That is some good apple, the Gala apple. Gala, NV/Fuji, Honeycrisp, Red Delicious. Go out there, get some apples today, and try this. Get yourself some Clyde Mays. That is, if you're a bourbon drinker, that is phenomenal. I really, really like it. So, I'm not airing this typically on my Saturday because this Saturday is the 20th anniversary of 9/11. If you know me, you know my story, Patty and I's story, how we even got to Florida. Very much part of that. We always say, never forget, and some I've heard say, always remember. And I prefer that, really. Remember that day. It is pivotal to our family, probably pivotal to yours as well. Things were never the same afterwards. So always remember, never forget. I'll see you next week. God bless. Cheers.